Winston Cup Racing from the North Carolina Speedway on TNT, delivered by UPS, official delivery company of NASCAR. We want to race the truck. People love the truck. Miller, there's good enough, and then there's better than it has to be. Miller, good call. And Dodge, you can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge.
The Dodge of Ryan Newman is out in front, early going today of the Pop Secret 400 at Rockingham, North Carolina, second to last race of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series season. Newman's led all of the laps so far. Jeremy Mayfield in that red 19 got up to challenge him for a bit, but Ryan fought him off. Wendy's race menu next weekend. The season concludes at the newly remodeled Homestead Miami Speedway in Florida. Can't wait to see what it's going to be like on now the high banks of Homestead.
It's going to be different.
It's going to be fast.
Yes.
12 noon Eastern next Sunday, NBC. That's part of Ford Championship weekend. Got that fabulous Craftsman Truck Series Championship race Friday afternoon. Speed Channel will have live coverage of that one starting at 3 Eastern time. Then the NASCAR Busch Series race Saturday, noon Eastern on NBC, with 6 drivers within 89 points for the Busch Series Championship. And a lot at stake in the Winston Cup race, too.
More importantly, there's a car wash bet going on, too.
That's right. You're in
the most
the
important thing.
The NASCAR Busch Series race, and you've got to finish in the top 5 next with your last chance.
You're not going to give me any margin on that. You're not going to be a nice guy and give me maybe top 8.
You said you would finish in the top 5.
No
oh, is this a battle for the lead?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Mayfield caught up to Newman again in traffic.
I'll tell you another guy that's coming really fast is Ward Burton.
In the 0, yeah.
Yes, he is flying.
Marty.
Ryan Newman still having the problem, Alan, of being tight in the middle and loose off. He said it's worse in 1 and 2 than it is in 3 and 4. What he's done, Wally, is moved his line up in turns 3 and 4. He said that's worked to his benefit. That's where he's gaining time on Jeremy, but here in 1 and 2, Jeremy catches him. Bill?
The 19 car of Jeremy Mayfield, very quiet on the radio. The only communication from Jeremy was the temperatures when he was asked for them by the crew. Just trying to follow Ryan Newman, hang on there at the front of the field. They're encouraging him, but not much back to the driver.
Yeah, and I think probably why they're asking for the temperatures. It's not really warm today, but they want to make sure the temperature's good so they don't have to take any tape off the front of the car to keep the downforce on the front.
Or if it's running too cool, maybe they can add a little bit of tape. Yeah.
Which will also help put more downforce in the car.
Leaders caught Scott Wimmer in the 22 and put him a lap down. That's kind of what helped Jeremy get that next run at Ryan. Next, they're going to come up on the back of Kenny Wallace. And it's pretty typical of an early Rockingham race. A long green flag run, and a lot of guys at the tail end of the field get caught and put a lap down.
And there's Ward Burton right there, and he is in a hurry.
Started 13th.
Fast. Dave, what are they saying about Ward's car? Because he must be happy with it.
Yeah, just a little bit loose, Wally, but like you said, happy with it. Drove from 13th starting position to the front. It's still going.
So Ward Burton, pretty quick in the opening laps. Our Stacker 2 NASCAR Winston Cup track back relates to Ward. Drivers who won their first Winston Cup race here at Rockingham.
Ward Burton, one of those guys.
Mark Martin, Donnie Allison.
There he goes to the high side. Tony Ford always has a good car here. When I drove for him here, I had a very good race car when I drove the 25.
And check Jeremy Mayfield, a 19 car. Can he make it stick in 1 and 2?
See that big wobble he had when he tried to turn that thing under Ryan off 4?
And Ward is saying, get out of my way, guys.
What, man, when he gets by these guys, he's going to leave them. And Jeremy's going to be boxed in behind the 23 car right now. Kenny Wallace, maybe.
3 wide, Kevin Harvick. Want a lap down to the leaders. He's already down 1. Dave, what are they saying about the 29 cars?
Well, the clock has been ticking for Kevin Harvick since the start of the race. He was bad loose, but yesterday he was very tight in happy hour. He radioed back to his guys, why did we go so far the other way?
In other words, why did they go too far the other way and trying to get the car loosened up just a little bit?
Harvick's going to give up some track position and come to pit road to try and get that thing adjusted now that he's going a lap down. Ward Burton by Jeremy Mayfield. Mayfield back by Ward in traffic. Now Ward trying Jeremy again. And this time he's got him. So the 0 car up from 13th to 2nd as Kevin Harvick makes that pit stop under the green flag. Go ahead, Dave.
And here they come now. The guys, exactly what you guys said. Once he got lap time to come in and make some major adjustment, you see the wedge wrench going in the left rear of the car, 1, 2.5. So that's going to be a pretty good adjustment for him. Air pressure as well to try to tighten that car up. Back up, as you might say.
And Ward Burton, the 0 car in front. That is a great feeling.
Wow. And driving away.
And this is a kind of racetrack that really suits Ward's style because he is a hard-charging driver. He thrives where he can put the car on the edge of control. Here in Darlington, where the tires go away and you're slipping and sliding around.
Yeah, you've got to have you've got to have a finesse at a racetrack like Darlington and Rockingham, because, like I said earlier, this racetrack's like a cheese grater, and it just chews up the tires, and you're sliding all the time. So you've got to be very smooth.
Believe it or not, in all those tries Jeremy Mayfield had where he poked the nose under Ryan Newman, he never led a lap. So Ward Burton, the second leader of this race.
And Jeremy's another guy that runs Darlington very well, similar to this place.
Yep. Car control. So Ward Burton is going to be the leader at lap number 50. And you will need to know that to win a trip to this year's Winston Cup Award ceremony to serve as his special correspondent. You can log on to NASCAR.com or NBCSports.com and check out the NASCAR Big Apple Sweepstakes for rules and your chance to register. Ward Burton out in front. What about our championship leader? He's kind of still back in traffic, Bill.
Yeah, not what they were hoping for early. The car was tight off at the beginning of the race, Alan. Then the car started coming around to Matt. Then it turned out that he really wanted to turn better off of the turns. Is what the situation is. He's a little loose in, but he wants to turn better off the turns. They are going to pull the left rear spring rubber out on the first stop. It'll be interesting to see if they do that. Here was their conversation about the car a few moments ago.
It still loose in. We're having a longer run, but it's not real bad. I think we go ahead and pull those left rear rubbers if we get an opportunity here. 26-19, leave that at 88. Thinking about 10 laps, we'll be breaking even. Coming around pretty good, you know, when everybody else is getting looser, but it's just exciting to begin the run.
393 laps here today, 53 of them down. They've got a lot of time to work on that car. 7th or better today gets Matt Kenseth his first Winston Cup championship. Under green at the North Carolina Speedway, and a lot of fun at the front of the field so far. We'll be right back.
The Rock, the North Carolina Speedway, Rockingham, North Carolina. The second to last race of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series season is just past the 50-mile mark. Ward Burton out in front, the 95 winner of this race. Behind him, locked up pretty good for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. The 12th car, Ryan Newman, is 3rd. Rusty Wallace and Bobby Labonte and Jamie McMurray trying to take it away.
Looks like that 42 car, McMurray, is faster than these guys. They can get by them.
He's been really good in the opening laps here. Bill, he started back in 21st place.
And the last time they talked to Jamie McMurray was right after the national anthem. He has not said a word in the car since the green flag fell. Just calling out lap times to him. He loves racing at this track. We saw some of that yesterday, Alan.
Yeah, he's another one of these guys that really runs this racetrack well. The car looks like it's a little bit loose, if anything.
Now look, watch Kevin Harvick on the bottom there. We talked about Harvick. Whoa! Look out. Harvick pitted under green. He's got fresher tires than these guys, so he's going to come flying up through the field, and that's a strategy they call short pitting.
Because he's going to stay out there 15, 20 laps before some of these leaders pit, and he'll be running from a 1.5 seconds to a second faster than these guys. So he's going to make up 20, 25 seconds. He'll make up that lap, and then he hopes everybody pits, and then the caution flag comes out. Right. That's his hope.
But Harvick right now is 2 laps down in 41st place. And others who have short pitted include Johnny Benson and Brian Vickers, who've come down the pit road in recent laps.
And Jeff Gordon has caught this crowd of cars. Matt?
And BP, he's telling his crew chief, Robbie Loomis, good car, but we have some work to do on it. It's a little too tight on entry, 3 on exit. He hasn't said a word, though, since those comments back on lap 16.
He's made steady progress up through the traffic. You see the scoring serial there on the 4-time champion. And now Brian Vickers in the 25 car coming up to Gordon's inside. That's another guy just short pitted and has fresher tires.
This racetrack you probably talked about, it's just so abrasive, and the tires, they're good for a few laps, and they start slowing down and basically get slower every lap these cars run. Dave?
BP Vickers came in, made a quick pit stop, loose in, loose off. They made an air pressure adjustment to help Ryan.
Loose in, loose off. Not good here at Rockingham. If anything, you want the car to be a little bit tight, getting into the corner, let it float up the racetrack, and then go. But boy, loose in here at Rockingham is terrifying.
I like the driving on ice analogy earlier.
And that's exactly what it feels like.
It'd be pretty alarming to be out there and have a car feel like that at these speeds. Marty?
Meanwhile, Rusty Wallace is doing the best he can, Wally, with a car that is loose off, he said. Same problem they had here in February. The longer they ran, the looser off they became, but he said not as bad. He described it as 4 loose. They will pit in about 9 laps, trying to end a 96 race winless streak.
And that relates to our singular wireless race talk poll. Rusty, one of several drivers looking to end long dry spells, veteran drivers of NASCAR Winston Cup racing. That was a speed comparison of Rusty on this set of tires over the progression.
5 miles per hour.
Show us the poll, please.
There's a poll.
Who's going to get off the schneid first?
Strata will end his winless streak first. A, Mark Martin, Rusty Wallace, Bill Elliott C, Jeff Burton D. Bill Elliott has won since these other 3 guys, right?
All right, Bill won last at the Brickyard 400 2002.
Yeah.
We want to know, who do you think will get a win first among that group? Hey, it's just fun. Cast your vote. See what you think.
Could be today.
Ward Burton out in front. He's led more laps in this race than he has all season. And he's been out in front for 20 laps today. As Kevin Harvick gets one of his laps back. 68 of 393 complete here at the Rock.